This silence that many men carry in their soul after the age of 60 is deafening. It is the unspoken doubt about a body that, all of a sudden, seems to have slowed down. You notice that the circulation no longer has the fluidity of a rushing river. The time for the body to wake up is long, and that firmness, which was once a natural reflex, now requires effort, concentration, and often fails. If you recognize yourself in this, stop what you are doing, because in the next few minutes, we are going to dismantle this taboo with the most advanced science and prove that male vitality is far from being a closed chapter. I am a specialist in intimate health and male aging. Over the course of more than 2 decades dedicated to consultation and research, I have observed an undeniable truth. The decline in intimate function is not a character flaw or lack of interest. It is pure biochemistry. It is the natural but manageable result of the stiffening of the vessels, the decrease in nitric oxide production, and the loss of arterial elasticity. This is the foundation of everything. And that is exactly why I am here, because the solution to regaining vigor, energy, and circulatory response might be hidden in 2 incredibly simple powders that are probably already in your kitchen. And your life could change the moment you understand the science behind them. What truly happens in the mature body? It is a process I call the silence of the endothelium. The endothelium is the inner layer of our blood vessels, the true manager of circulation. In young arteries, the endothelium is agile. It quickly produces nitric oxide, NO, a miraculous gas molecule that signals the muscles around the vessel to relax, thus opening the path for blood flow. Over the years, this manager loses agility. The arteries, once flexible like new hoses, become stiffer, a process known as arteriosclerosis. Nitric oxide production drops drastically. Imagine blood trying to get through a congested road. The resistance is high, oxygen delivery is slow, and energy simply doesn't reach the fast-responding organs, such as the male cavernous tissue. But the story gets more complicated, and here is the key you need to understand: acidity. Our body tends to become subtly more acidic with age and metabolic stress. This acidic environment is a poison for the endothelium. It inhibits nitric oxide production and prevents the vessels from fully relaxing. It is a perfect storm: stiff vessels, less NO, and an acidic environment that suffocates any attempt at improvement. The result is what you feel: fatigue, lack of readiness, and loss of confidence. The good news is that we can reverse or at least mitigate this acidity with an underrated household tool. Baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, this simple white powder, acts precisely at the weak point of mature circulation, the acid-base balance. When the body is slightly acidic, the endothelium contracts and nitric oxide is destroyed faster. Baking soda intervenes as a powerful chemical buffer. Its function is to neutralize this excess acidity, raising the blood's pH to a more stable and favorable level. By creating a less acidic environment, baking soda doesn't act directly on the erection. It creates the ideal conditions for your body to start producing and utilizing its own nitric oxide more efficiently. It is like oiling the rusty door so it can open again. More nitric oxide means greater vessel relaxation, freer flow, and a more effective oxygen supply to all tissues, including those that require a rapid response. But this is only half the potential. The second powder, citric acid, is often remembered only for its sour taste. Inside the body, however, it is a fuel. Citric acid quickly transforms into citrate, a crucial molecule that directly powers the mitochondria, the energy factories of every cell. For a mature man, this energy is fundamental. Why? Because the relaxation of blood vessels, muscle contraction, and the flexibility of red blood cells depend on cellular energy, ATP. If the mitochondria are sluggish, which is common after age 60, the smooth muscles of the vessels cannot fully relax. Citrate is the new wood for this metabolic fire. It not only supplies extra fuel, but also fights oxidative stress within the endothelium, protecting the cells that control dilation. It turns rigid, red blood cells into flexible ones, allowing blood to glide and transport vital oxygen to the farthest and most sensitive regions. But the true power, what I call the game-changing reaction, only occurs when they combine. When baking soda and citric acid are mixed in water, the fizzing you see is not just carbon dioxide. It is the birth of a new compound, sodium citrate, and this is our silent protagonist. Sodium citrate is more than the sum of its parts. It is a synergistic catalyst that attacks circulatory dysfunction on three critical fronts. First, it offers stable protection of nitric oxide, ensuring that the dilating effect is firmer and longer lasting. Second, it improves fluidization and microcirculation, allowing the pliable red blood cells to pass through the crucial microcapillaries. Third, the compound amplifies cellular power, ensuring that mitochondrial energy is abundant, so the vessels maintain relaxation for longer. The result is a more robust, livelier, and much more responsive circulation, something many men describe feeling less than 90 minutes after ingestion. But the real magic is the cumulative effect. Many patients report an immediate sensation that is not a placebo. It is the biochemistry at work. The first sign is a slight warmth or tingling in the extremities, hands, feet, and yes, the pelvic region. It is the physical proof that the vessels are finally opening without the resistance imposed by acidity and arterial stiffness. Besides the intimate physical response, which becomes quicker and the firmness more sustainable, mental clarity is a notable effect. More blood to the brain means less mental fatigue and a feeling of readiness that restores confidence. The body and mind are, for the first time in years, working in harmony. The beauty of this approach lies not only in the immediate effect, but in the recovery capability it offers long-term. Continuous use, several times a week, transforms the microenvironment of your blood vessels. With less acidity, more stable nitric oxide, and more cellular energy, the endothelium begins to recover, reverting to acting like a more efficient manager. This improvement is not isolated, it is systemic. It means better flow to the heart, more oxygen to the muscles, reducing fatigue in daily activities, and a vitality and firmness that restore your confidence. It is biology, pure and simple, giving your body the conditions it needs for self-regulation. To maximally release the sodium citrate and ensure the buffering effect of the bicarbonate, the dosage is critical. It is not just about mixing. It is about creating the perfect reaction. The ideal ratio is 2 parts, baking soda to 1 part citric acid. The standard dose is about 3 grams of baking soda with approximately 1.5 grams G of citric acid, mixed in 250 milliliters to 350 milliliters of water. When the powders touch the water, the fizzing begins. Let the foam subside, stir, and drink it. The ideal is to ingest it 45 to 60 minutes before intimate or physical activity, ensuring that the peak of absorption and circulation coincides with the moment of need. Like any biochemical tool, use requires attention, especially for the mature man. Caution with sodium. Baking soda is rich in sodium. The 3-gram dose represents a significant portion of the daily limit. If you have high blood pressure or a medical salt restriction, start with half the dose and monitor your blood pressure. Additionally, some people may experience slight bloating or discomfort initially due to the released carbon dioxide, but this usually disappears with continued use. What impresses me most in my career is seeing that such powerful solutions can be so accessible. Baking soda and citric acid are extremely cheap, easy to find, and the benefits for your circulation are disproportionate to the cost. Taking care of your health and vitality should not depend on imported supplements. It must be possible, dignified, and sustainable. The combination of sodium citrate is not a trick. It is a natural, accessible tool based on solid biological mechanisms that already exist within you. It is proof that, even after age 60, the body has a capacity for reaction. By using this mixture, You are giving your vessels a gentle yet powerful push to start working again, so that circulation follows the path it should, and above all, so that you regain vitality, energy, and presence in your own body. The restoration of confidence is the most beautiful side effect of healthy circulation. I hope this conversation has given you clarity and the motivation to take care of yourself with the affection and respect your journey deserves. Now, to continue exploring the universe of intimate health and mature vitality on a scientific basis and without taboos, I invite you to join our community. If you liked this approach and want to learn more about how to maximize the natural production of nitric oxide through other foods and habits, subscribe to the Wise Sexuality channel. Activate the bell to not miss our next content, where we will dive into foods that are true no boosters. Your path to the fullness of maturity begins now.